Hey guys, what's up? Control here, and we got a special friend with us. What's your name, bitch? Special friend.
Well, fuck you. Name's Pandemic. That's what it is. That's what it'll be.
Exactly.
So yeah, we're gonna do another top 5, because it is Tuesday, and that's what we do. Top 5.
And we're keeping it short because we realized our longer videos don't get shit.
Yeah, I don't know. There's a not to be too specific, but there was like collective of 5 minutes watched out of a total of 46.
I don't think you can get any more specific than that.
Oh well. Shorter videos tend to do better on all channels anyway, unless it's like, you know, a live stream.
Yeah, people don't have time to just sit there and watch like long ass videos, but
so anyways, let's get right into this.
okay, let's do it.
We're gonna do top 5 shooters, first person, third person, whichever you want, horror shooters, anything of the sort. So coming in at number 5, my personal number 5 is Operation Desert Storm. It was an older game for the PlayStation 2 that I used to play with my stepbrother, and basically just kind of portrayed the war in Afghanistan and all that way back before any of these Call of Duty games and stuff kind of took off.
And it
took off. Like the graphics were kind of bad, but I don't know. I loved playing it. Once I started playing it, I was like, all right, yeah, I can get a feel for this, and it was difficult too.
That was like one of my introductions to the first person shooters. Like
yeah. That's how it was for me. I was like, this seems pretty legit. I could get used to this. I think it was like kind of what kickstarted my video game career.
Can I just say something?
Yeah.
There was another Operation Desert Storm that was released in the 90s that was made by Bungie. I just looked it up, actually. Because I was thinking who made the game that we're talking about, but apparently Bungie made the first Operation Desert Storm in 1991.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I know. Okay. Oh, my turn. Yeah. Sorry, got a little handed. My number 5 I had to include on this list is Borderlands, because I've mentioned this before, that Borderlands is one of those like genre-changing games. Like it just completely, it sort of took over the first-person shooter market and changed it. I mean, we're so used to all these like really, really good graphics, but it put a cartoony, comic booky spin on everything. And I thought that was really nice.
That, and it changed it from the typical first-person shooter to a more RPG-style shooter.
Yeah, it's just, and it made it a lot more fun and a lot less serious than a lot of the first-person shooters too.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my number 5.
Alright, so number 4, I picked Halo 2 from the original Xbox. And the reason I picked Halo 2 and not Halo Combat Evolved is because it kind of upped the graphics a little bit, and it was actually the first of the Halo series that I started playing. I didn't play Combat Evolved until after Halo 2, and I didn't really like it as much. Sure, it was classic, and that's what got the whole thing started, but Halo 2 was really kind of all together for me, especially with the multiplayer. Me and my cousin used to stay up all night playing Team SWAT games, and Team SWAT in Halo 2 was the shit. Like that was what you played in Halo 2. When they brought it back in Halo 3, I was kind of excited for it, but when I found out that you can kill people with grenades and not just headshots, it kind of took away the integrity of it. But,
yeah, it made it it made it a lot easier for other people to get killed, so I mean, I can understand that, but
yeah,
instead of just headshots. But I mean, it was still, Halo 3 was still a good game.
Yeah. So, overall, Halo 2 was my favorite of the series, and that's why it's in my number 4.
My number 4, I had to go with the series. I don't know if anyone else has heard of the Fear series, that first-person shooter horror game. Those games, the Fear games, were the ones that actually really, talking about stuff getting you introduced to games, it was really the thing that got me introduced to all the horror games that I play now. And I just liked how it was just so fucking creepy, and you just had to constantly watch your back and just check everything. Just made you have this heightened sense about you, got you ready for stuff, you know?
Yeah, that's kind of how Resident Evil was for me in my childhood.
Yeah, I was actually debating whether to have Resident Evil here or Fear, but I ultimately chose Fear because I think that had a bigger impact on me, in all honesty.
Yeah. All right. So number 3, I got Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, and I know I'm gonna get a lot of hate because Call of Duty and people are, like, it's the game that people love to hate, but Modern Warfare 2 was essentially what put me into first-person shooter multiplayer, being competitive, and just overall, like, making that my main focus in video games. And Modern Warfare 2, just the change in graphics from Call of Duty 4 to Modern Warfare 2 and all the other games, essentially, it just kind of kickstarted it. It's like the Cold War for video games. Once Modern Warfare 2 hit and people saw how big this thing was, then that's when Battlefield decided they wanted to kick it up. Everybody else started kicking up their game.
I think Modern Warfare 2 was one of the most realistic graphical first-person shooters ever until Battlefield 3 came out.
Yeah. And Modern Warfare 2 at first was an amazing game. Like, just everything about it. The guns, the graphics, the explosions, the realism of it, the storyline.
Yeah, they figured people liked it so much that they brought it over to Modern Warfare 3. They brought the same graphic style and everything over.
Yeah. And in the end, it kind of started to lose integrity with, people hacking it.
That's what I was thinking too.
One-man army noob tubes. But in the end, it's still an awesome game. And
but, like, if it wasn't for Modern Warfare 2, I think Call of Duty, their whole franchise, I think the publishers are good in themselves because they actually listen to what people are saying, because I think people were saying they didn't want Juggernaut to come into Modern Warfare 2. I don't know if you remember this, but they were asking for suggestions from COD 4.
Yeah.
And people were saying no Juggernaut, they took that out, and then they took One Man Army out in Modern Warfare 3. They just kept getting rid of shit, and I think those games before Modern Warfare 3 and 2 were more of a testing game just to see what people liked, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And then I think Modern Warfare 2 also shaped the series Call of Duty as it is today.
Mm-hmm.
And what it's going to always be.
Yep. But, oh well. That's why it's my number 3, because it just kind of revolutionized things for me.
Yeah. I had Halo 3 as my number 3. I mean, Halo 3 is always going to be the best Halo game for me, in my opinion. It was only... You said Modern Warfare 2 was a game that got you into competitive first-person shooters, but Halo 3 was mine because I always used to play, like, the team doubles and everything, all that shit on Halo 3 with friends.
Oh yeah, Halo 3 was definitely my close one for that spot.
Yeah, like, it was, like, the most competitive game I've played still. Like, I still don't take Call of Duty as seriously as I did Halo 3. Like, I had 50 in most of the playlists in that, actually, because I just play that shit so much.
Nice.
It was a good game, and I just think I was debating whether to put Halo 2 or 3 on the list, but Halo 3 ultimately came over because from Halo 2 they actually, like you said, from the first Halo 2 stepped up low, then Halo 3 stepped up even more,
Yeah, and Halo 3 I loved for the storyline as far as the campaign goes.
Yeah.
It had the advantage over Halo 2 as far as that goes, but then multiplayer Halo 2 definitely blows them out of the water.
Yeah, but I still think Halo 3 is a pretty decent game. Wasn't that actually the first Halo on the Xbox 360?
Yeah.
Yeah, and Halo 3 is sort of where the franchise ended for me. I think that was their last good game because I think they dropped the ball on ODST and Reach. Those games aren't as good as they could have been.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to be getting Halo 4 though.
Oh, I am too. I want to see how this plays out. I mean, they got a new developer on it now, so I'm wondering if they did it right by the genre and franchise. But yeah, that's really my number 3.
So number 2, I decided to pick BioShock. Not sure that it's considered mainly a shooter, but
it actually. I looked it up.
It definitely had a lot of shooting action enough for me, and it was kind of awesome to have, kind of tie in that, I guess, magical kind of sense to it, where you could get different power-ups and, electrocute the shit out of people, and they kind of made it so that you had to set up traps for enemies, and it was kind of like horror games where you don't get as much ammo as, predominantly first-person shooters like Call of Duty. Throughout the campaign, they give you all kinds of ammo and stuff like that. But BioShock, you really had to save your resources and use your environment.
It was also, you had to use strategies too in BioShock, or else you wouldn't live.
Yeah, that was another part of it.
And it was another one of those games that was a game changer, because the graphics from the original BioShock, which was released in 2007, were still like good, considered great graphics for like 4 more years.
Yeah.
I mean, it was ahead of its time on the graphics. I mean, I don't know how they did it, but it was just amazing all around.
Well, you could do graphics with anything, but they decided to take their time. A lot of these companies don't take their time, and they don't put in as many polygons and things like that, and things turn out blocky.
They take the people who make BioShock. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think they're one of the developers and publishers who also made Borderlands. Actually, 2K, I believe.
Maybe. I don't follow that.
Either way, all I know is when they released BioShock, I like how they took like at least a 2-year break between releasing each one.
Yeah.
Like I know BioShock 1 was released in 2007 and 2 was released in 2010. And now they're gearing for Infinite, which is coming out in 2013. So it's roughly a 3-year break between each.
Mm-hmm. So who do you have for or what do you have for number 2? Because we gotta speed this up.
I had a tie between 2 games in the Call of Duty franchise, actually.
Right.
I had a tie between COD 4 and Modern Warfare 2 just because they're both really good games in my opinion.
Yeah.
I think they both also shape the first-person shooter genre, especially COD 4, because that was like after I got done playing Halo 3, I took a break and I ended up picking up COD 4, and I'm just like that's what got me hooked on the Call of Duty franchise. But then, as you said, Modern Warfare 2 really stepped up and brought more and more to the world.
Yeah.
So I mean, I had to put a time between both. I mean, one was like my first Call of Duty, and then the other one was just a great game. It's just they both had good storylines too and multiplayer, but yeah.
All right. And for number 1, I picked SOCOM 3, U.S. Navy SEALs, because SEALs all the way. They are the badass motherfuckers that took down Osama bin Laden and everything else like that. But that's not why I like it. I liked it because it was my first real experience with first-person shooters, and just I don't know, it was great because it actually included this nice little headset, and that was the only game that I've seen so far that you could actively communicate with a squad in the campaign. And instead of having them follow you around, you tell them where to go.
I remember that too. You could give them orders and everything.
And it was a stealth shooter. Everything about that game was stealth. Call of Duty has a couple stealth missions, but SOCOM 3, if you didn't stealth, you were dead. And it was just awesome. Everything about it.
Oh, wow.
It definitely gave a nice little depiction of how the Navy SEALs work.
Yeah. Is that it for you?
Oh, yeah.
My number 1 is something you already mentioned. My number 1, I was thinking about this for a while. I had to choose this game because it's one of my favorite games, hands down. It's one of my favorite shoot games above everything else. I mean, this takes precedence over the Call of Duty franchise and Halo for me. Mine is BioShock, the whole series. Just BioShock itself is one of those games that I keep replaying, and it's just a game I can't put down. It's an amazing game, and I think it deserves to be number 1 on my list because it's a game that I think I played the most out of all the games I have on my list. BioShock and BioShock 2 collectively, I have like almost 1,000 hours put into it, probably.
That's a little obscene.
I mean, almost. I mean, like, sort of 800, but that's collectively, like, maybe, like, 350, 400 for each one. Just because I replayed it so many times,
That's still obscene.
I took breaks in between each one. It's not like I sat there for, like, 10 hours straight playing BioShock. Although I did on, like, some days. Like, the first day it came out, I actually did sit there for a while playing the first one, but...
Alright.
I think it was a great game, and it deserves to be on the list higher up than yours was. I mean, that's just my opinion.
Yeah, oh well. So that's going to have to be it for us, guys, because my laptop is about to die. I have 12% battery life remaining, and my computer automatically shuts down in about 30 seconds. So, if you guys enjoyed Yeah, if you enjoyed, leave a like or a comment or a dislike. Doesn't matter. Any kind of review is good. And we'll catch you in the next one. Peace.